If you're suffering from painful hemorrhoids, you might be dreading your next bowel movement. Hi, I'm Michelle, and today I'm guiding you through how to empty your bowels with hemorrhoids. And this technique is great. It's called Mutapu. It helps you reduce pain with bowel movements and also helps you reduce the risk of worsening hemorrhoids with straining. So let's get into it. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to be guiding you through how to empty your bowel, and we'll go through this step by step. The first thing to know, which is really important, is that when you first get the urge, and that's an appropriate urge to empty your bowel, you get that sensation, go straight to the lavatory, don't delay. That's because the stool's moving down into your rectum, and if that stool is sitting there above your hemorrhoid in the rectum, it's going to create pressure on that hemorrhoid and actually going to make things worse if you delay. So don't delay. Go straight to the bathroom or straight to the lavatory when you feel that first urge. Now let's go through the correct position and technique so that you know exactly how to get the maximum benefit from this technique. Then I'll share a little secret with you at the end to troubleshoot any issues you might be having. So what you do is you sit down. Obviously, I've got my little stool here in preparation. Sitting right down. If you hover like that with your bottom above the seat, no good, because you'll actually tense all your muscles, and we need you to relax your muscles, particularly your external anal sphincter that wraps around your anus like that. You need to be able to open it up to empty your stool. Here's how you do that. So you sit down, and if you've got a squatting toilet, if you're able to squat, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know how this technique goes for you, because squatting has been found to be much more effective than sitting on a toilet, the Western toilet seats that we have higher up. And we're going to try and get into that squatting position that we would naturally use before the elevated toilets were invented. So what we're going to do is put our feet on the ground and lean forward. So your hands are on your thighs or your forearms on your thighs. So you're like that, so your body's supported. Now you can see in this position here that my knees are lower than my hips if I was to draw a straight line through there. So the knees need to be higher than your hips. So imagine if you're in the squatting position, your knees are higher than your hips. That's where we're trying to get to, which is why I have the stool today. Now, you don't need a fancy stool. You can use a couple of books. You can use a couple of yoga blocks under each foot, whatever you've got to make sure that your knees are higher than your hips, because that's how we get our bottom down lower to lengthen the rectum and help us empty without straining. So here I am in this position like this. So as soon as you sit down, the first thing you do is start some relaxed breathing. The reason for this is if you're worried about your hemorrhoid pain, what you're going to do is hold on. It's like imagining a hot poker is coming towards your anus, isn't it? And what you do is then you involuntarily tense everything and guard, and that stops the stool from emptying, which means you're more likely to have to strain. So if you do a couple of relaxed deep breaths this way, this is how you encourage your anal sphincter, the muscle that wraps around the anus, to open up and relax, to let that stool out. So here we go. In this position, technique, our feet are down, our knees are higher than our hips, we're leaning forward, and now take a couple of slow deep breaths. If you can do it through your nose, that's great. Fill up and feel your belly move forward. So as you breathe in, breathe into your belly, and as your belly moves forward, your anal sphincter starts to open up, which is great. And relax. This is the part of the Mutapu method that I like to recommend to my patients. When you say you can feel your waist, and you'll feel your waist move out to the side. Can you say that with me now while you're leaning forward? And you can feel your waist move wide. That is your pushing power. If you pull your tummy in, your anal sphincter tightens up. So you're going to be trying to push down, and that poor little hemorrhoid all those hemorrhoids are going to be under strain, added strain if you're pushing down. Now, what you do then is you say, ooh. So there comes the ooh, and you can say it quite loud, ooh, and you'll feel your belly bulge forward. Now, what that does is opens up the anal sphincter. That's going to reduce pressure on the hemorrhoids and let the stool pass. So let's put that all together. Leaning forward. If you're in the loo, do it with me. We'll do a Mutapu together. Go, make your waist wide. Ooh. Let your belly forward. Try not to take another breath just yet. Go, again, if you need to push further. So you're making yourself into a barrel shape, and then you release. Now, if you haven't emptied, after a couple of attempts at this, get up from the toilet, move around. Don't sit there and wait, because we know that the longer you sit on the toilet, looking at your mobile, doing whatever you're doing right at the moment, then the more pressure your anus is under, the more pressure the hemorrhoids are under, and sitting for a long period of time is one of the major reasons that people are developing hemorrhoids, because we're all looking at our mobiles on the loo. So, ooh, again, if you need to push further, and at the end of all that, draw everything back up and then draw your anus back up inside, pull up and lift. And that's how you move to poo, to reduce the strain on hemorrhoids and reduce the pain with hemorrhoids. Now, what do you do if this technique doesn't work? And I know some of you are going to say, Michelle, this doesn't work. You need to have the right stool consistency. Now, what does that mean? What is the right thickness or size of the stool? You need to have a stool that's not too soft, not too hard, but just in the middle, just right. And that's what we call a type 3 to 4 on this Bristol stool chart you can see here. So you're aiming for a soft, well-formed stool, not a stool that's too runny because that can also make you strain, but particularly not a stool that's too hard because a hard stool is going to rub against the hemorrhoids, possibly make them bleed and make them really uncomfortable. So you've got a hard stool that you're going to be much more inclined to strain to empty. And the video coming up helps you know how to soften your stool. So that's how you do it. Let me know in the comments below how Moo to Poo helps you with your hemorrhoids, if it helps you relieve your hemorrhoid pain, particularly if you've got a squatting toilet at home. I'd love to hear. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye for now.